Jay Sanford here, Director of Investment Strategy at Washington Financial Group. You may know me from our podcasts at Washington Financial Group, hosting a Focused on You podcast with a cast of characters here at WFG. Thought I would check in given what's going on in the markets. I want to do that maybe more frequently, given the ability to do so through different forms of media. Yesterday, we had a 1,000-point drop in the Dow Jones Industrial. That was over 3% as a percentage basis, and I'm going to touch on that before, but I wanted to start by kind of reiterating what we had said at the beginning of the year through our market outlook, and if you hadn't heard that, now you'll get a chance to hear what we thought 2020 was going to bring. In terms of GDP growth, we did see positive numbers across the board, both in the U.S. and globally. We thought U.S. would be at about 1.75% GDP growth for 2020. Globally, we saw it at 3.5%. Now with this coronavirus spreading a bit, it's hit Europe, obviously in Italy, South Korea, there in Asia. I've seen reports that already GDP growth can be knocked down 0.1%. And I think we probably haven't seen the end of these types of revisions. You could see anywhere between 25 and 50 basis points knocked off of GDP growth on a global level, and probably in the U.S. as well. So generally speaking, we revise or take a look at our market outlook mid-year, and we obviously will do so again this year, but we may have some revisions prior to that, given where we are with the coronavirus. We do see the market outlook that we did at the beginning of the year. We saw positive returns for the S&P 500. We were thinking upper single-digit returns. We thought bonds would be relatively flat. With the way the 10-year Treasury has gone down in yield, we've seen bonds actually be quite positive so far this year. Let's put some things into perspective about yesterday's drop. We dropped 1,000 points or over 1,000 points, and that was actually the third largest drop in terms of points for the Dow Jones Industrial Average since it began, and that was in the late 1800s. But let's put things into perspective. As a percentage drop, that was only 254th on the list. So although optically the number of 1,000 points, 1,000 plus points is frightening, or can be frightening, the percentage is not nearly as big as the point total would suggest. So we have to keep things into perspective. At the beginning of the year, we knew volatility was going to be back for 2020. We weren't sure what the catalyst might be. We certainly knew the presidential election would have something to do with it, and I think yesterday had a little bit of that associated with it as well. Bernie Sanders took Nevada, established maybe a little bit of a stronger base when it came to the win total there in Nevada. And so you might see people thinking that he is going to be the Democratic candidate that would go up against our President Trump, and that might spook the markets, and that might have added to some of the volatility that we saw yesterday. But we always want to keep perspective. We're still flat now, approximately flat for the year. It's like waking up on January 1st all over again. Futures are actually higher. Not sure that that'll stick, but in general, we know that volatility is here to stay, given this virus and given the upcoming presidential election. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to call or email us. As you know, we are big proponents of open communication. We think that is key to a healthy relationship, both with your financial advisor and your partner, of course. Thanks for listening. Stay dry today. It's foggy and rainy. Hopefully we'll have a good day in the market, but we're here making sure things are looking as good as possible for you and here to answer any questions. Jay Sanford signing off.
That's going to do it for this week's show. Thanks for listening. If you have a question that you'd like us to address in a future episode, shoot us an email at info@washfinancial.com. If you enjoy our show, we'd love for you to subscribe on iTunes or wherever you access your podcasts. The opinions voiced in this program are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, financial or tax advisor prior to investing. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, and SIPC. Investment advice offered through Global Retirement Partners, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Global Retirement Partners, Washington Financial Group, a division of Hub International Mid-Atlantic, and Hub International are not affiliated with LPL Financial.